Hi family, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Mrs. Trot once again. And I first want to say thank you to every single person who has subscribed to our YouTube channel. We are doing so well. Now, today I'm bringing in a guest and we have a lot to talk about. So I'm going to give her the opportunity to actually introduce herself and we'll get into our topic for today. So ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is none other than
Hope Kayeny. Hey guys, my name is Hope Kayeny and I am the creator, director and formulator of Protect Thread Hair and Skin Products. So we create organic hair and skin care solutions using agro-based raw materials, and we have a wide range of products from growth oils, onion oil, chebe, skin oil, carrot oil, shampoos. Yeah. We also have a salon at Reed Complex in Tinda where we do a lot of growth treatments for your hair. We do different amazing hairstyles and also facials. We just do the whole mile for hair and skin, and we recently also opened up a factory at MTAC, so we can go into mass production and have our products in the supermarket and everywhere. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Hope. I love the introduction. She's a businesswoman. Yes, she's an entrepreneur.
Actually, yes.
There is a difference between a businesswoman and an entrepreneur. Yeah, that is true. Now, we are here today to talk about dating. That is one topic that we are here to discuss. And I brought you up here purposely because there is just so much to exhaust when it comes to online dating.
Yeah,
people are so much into this whole online dating scene, and I for sure know that you've had quite an experience with the online dating stuff. I know the stories are fascinating.
Wow.
The stories are many, but I really hope that what we are discussing today is actually going to help someone out there. But first, as a woman, you need to be, let's say, independent as well. As you can look at Hope right now, she's an entrepreneur. She's done amazing stuff for herself. But then again, there comes a point when we have our personal desires. There are things we want for ourselves at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we are here to talk about this whole online dating stuff. I have my experience. You have your experience. And we've seen these things differently.
Yeah.
The experiences have been differently. So Hope, a couple of questions that I have. But of course, this is going to be more an interactive kind of conversation, yeah?
Okay.
Now, I just need to know, how has, your dating experiences been online?
Where do I begin? So actually, interestingly, guys, I have a lot of my experiences on my YouTube, and online dating has been crazy for me in that I was on dating apps for 2 whole years.
Yeah.
I've been single for 3 years, but I've been on dating apps for 2 years. Because how the first year is, me as a spiritual person, you know how I'm a spiritual person.
Yeah.
I prefer to first heal before I go back into the dating field. So at first I was alone for a whole year, just healing, making sure I'm okay. Then I got into dating apps for 2 years.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it has mostly been 70% of it has been terrible. Yes. And I give it 30%. Yes, I've had guys who have done some really good things for me, but I give it 30 because at the end of the day, the relationship didn't work. I'm still single, So at the end of the day, it hasn't been the best experience for me. Yeah.
Ooh. Tight.
Yeah.
Now, it hasn't been the best experiences for you. That's 30%.
Yeah.
So is it 70% not the best experience, or the 30%?
30% okay and for an okay experience, and 70% a nightmare.
Oh God.
Yeah. An absolute nightmare.
Could you tell us some of these experiences that you've had on these dating sites actually?
For me in particular, when I first went into dating apps, I had this mindset of like, okay, I've taken a whole year to heal, as in therapy. I took the time to go back to church and get to know God more, because they say if you don't understand God's love, you can't understand actual love. So I wanted to first repair myself, because I used to say I'm damaged beyond repair, and my pastor used to say, don't say that about you, that about yourself, or Jesus can rejuvenate anybody. So I worked on myself, and then I said, let me go on dating app. So for me, I went with this perspective of like, okay, I've wasted so many times with people that didn't add any significant value to myself. I didn't get anything worthy out of these relationships I've been in. So I want someone who's serious about what they want. And you know, like I would give these guys all these rules of, oh, I want this, I want that, I want to do this. Then one of my mother figures told me, Hope, you do not teach a man how to love you. Immediately said that he's going to pretend, he's going to package himself as that person, love bomb you, and you feel like you finally found the person, and then you get disappointed. And for the first year I had that. I mean, you watched my YouTube, I don't know if you watched my YouTube video, but there's a guy who actually was supposed to come here, and you know, we had prepared everything, and the guy literally ghosted. So I've had those bad experiences. I've had guys who I really, really like, and we talk for a while, and then they go ghost. Always. I've never had a consistent person. So that's also one of the reasons why I stopped dating. When I tell people I stopped dating, they're like, Hope, how are you going to get a man? Because I left all dating apps. I don't talk to guys. I'm clearly not good at making my own choices. So I just now pray for the spirit of discernment. I said, God, bring me someone if you want someone. Because I mean, let's be real. I've worked hard, I've built myself. With or without a man, I've progressed. And I've never had a man who has added significant value to me when I was dating. So I'm like, why would I go back to that kind of relationship again? Let me trust God to bring the right person.
Now that brings us to this, that the self-discovery journey. You get it? You're talking about you took time, you've taken time off right now from dating apps.
Generally dating, I don't date at all.
Now that also takes me back to, you know, when it takes me back to before I met my husband. There was that self-discovery time where I think I had left almost all apps. You get, even the Facebook groups that I was in, and I remember I was only left in one group, and I think that was by accident. But then I had put myself together. Lord, presenting this before you. I think I rest my case concerning marriage. Let me focus on me and build myself right now. Then I can be able to actually, let me love myself first before I can think of loving other people. And it was at that point, I feel you're getting closer to that point where you're doing you, and the right person is actually sitting and waiting to come at the right time. So that self-discovery period, I think it's what people don't give themselves.
Yes.
People don't give themselves that self. From one heartbreak
to another. And that was me.
And as you said, online has a lot of, it has junk.
It has junk. It has junk.
It has junk. It has so much junk that if you're not careful with it, you may just end up going astray. But I think we are going to come to that eventually. Now, I just need to know something quick. What have been some of the craziest dates you have been on?
So there was this one guy that I went on a date with. First of all, he didn't want to go on a date. He was like, can you come to my house? And for me, I have this rule of I'll never go to a guy's house. I have seen so much to know never to go into a guy's house. And also, if a guy wants to pick me on the first date, I don't accept this because anything can happen. And you've seen the internet, they'll always blame you. They're like, you entered a man's car. You have to know all men's intentions. Yes, sure, not all of them are predators, but all of them want one thing. So you have to protect yourself as a woman. So he wanted me to go to his house. I said, no, I'm not going to your house. Let's go for a dinner date if you want to meet me. So we go on a dinner date to Mediterranean, you know, one of my favorite restaurants. We ordered stuff and what, and every time I kept ordering something, this guy is telling me, no, you can't eat this. No, you have that. So I'm just like, damn, okay, what's up with this man? So he eventually, orders for me actually. You know, and I'm not really a chicken person. He orders for me chicken. You know me, I love my steak, medium rare, bloody. I'm just chewing it. So he ordered for me chicken, and he ordered for himself, I don't remember, about meatballs. So now I eat my chicken, and then I'm keeping the bones. I'm like, oh, this some food remained. So I'm like, I'm keeping it for my dog. This guy's like, no, you're not taking any food for your dog. I paid for this thing, I have to finish it. He ate my leftover pasta and he chewed my bones. I'm not kidding you. I took a picture on my old phone, but it was stolen. He literally chewed the bones. He was like, when he pays, he believes that you're supposed to literally savor everything. Then I'd left a little bit of wine in the glass. This guy drank the wine.
Okay.
And I'm just looking at this guy. And then at the end of the date, he tells me he hasn't eaten meat for 10 years. It's the first time. But he doesn't believe in wasting food. So I'm like, dude, you ate chicken bones just because you felt like you can't throw them away or give them to a dog. Like, I was literally going to take it for my dog, you know. So that was one of the weirdest experiences that I've had in Kampala. It was insane. Like, I was just he was a vegan, and then like I actually went through his profile. He was literally a vegan. So I'm like, you ate bones and you finish food just because you don't want to throw it away. Like, what? This is someone who wanted me to go to his house. I was just like, just all the bad red flags. And this is not the worst. There's a lot. So that's not even the worst date, you girl. So one thing I've noticed though is when a guy invites you to his house, the first time you've just talked, it's always a red flag. Always a red flag. It's just like guys online who tell you, hi sexy, or your body is so hot. I've learned that those are perverts, period. So this guy invites me to his house. Also, I said, I'm not going to your house. I mean, I don't know you. What if I get kidnapped or they steal my kidney? So he's like, fine, let's go to a place. And you know, because of the bad experience I had with this other German guy, I was like, do I really want to go out on a date with someone who has already invited me to his house, and the first thing he has complimented is my sexy body instead of something else, you know? Like, there are other things, you know, in a woman that you can appreciate. So I went on a date with this guy anyway. So and you know me, I like my nice things. So I had champagne, I had my lobster, and I had my steak. And when the bill comes, this guy says we need to divide the bill.
Wow.
He said, I'm so sorry. He let me order. He didn't tell me. You see, what I appreciated about the other guy, despite the weirdness of him chewing the bones and everything, he kept rejecting what he could not afford. You see, this is a difference in someone. They are showing you that they probably can't afford, because by then I was angry at him, but looking back, I'm like, okay, this guy actually was being realistic, because his budget is like 120. You're ordering lobster, which is already 120 and stuff like that. So this guy is like, we have to divide the bill.
And he's the one who initiated.
He's the one who initiated and insisted, because I said I really didn't want to go. I didn't want to go on a date with him. So he insisted. He said, hope, let's go on a date, blah, blah, blah. He said, I have to pay half. So I'm looking at the goddamn bill. Babe, do you know how much the bill was? Like 700. I have to pay half. I looked at this guy and I told him, you have to excuse me. I need to go and I need to get my ATM card from the car because I can't pay without the card. He said, oh, you have to leave something there. What if you don't come back? I told him, bruh, why would I not come back? Like, I'm not the kind of person who just runs away and leaves people stranded. So I said, oh, it's okay. I'll escort you to your car. I said, how can we both leave yet you haven't paid the bill? You have to wait for me to pay the bill. So the guy stands up, he looks to the window, I enter my car and go home. I go home because I'm not paying $350. Let me tell you, you insisted for me to come and go on a date with you. You allow me, you watch me. He drank with me everything that we're drinking, you know, the bubbly, the wine, whatever. And the bill comes to 700. I'm like, you expect me to pay $350K after you insisted that I should come see you? And there's no way he can call the police on me. How is he going to call the police on me? I drove home. And he watched me drive home. Like, I reversed, saw his eyes, and I drove and slept peacefully. And that is why I always tell people, listen to what a guy is telling you. He's telling you to go to his house, don't. He's telling you, he's complimenting your body fasting. That's already a red flag. So those are some of the things you have to avoid. And we're stuck. This is something I've summarized, but we're stuck there for 15 minutes. He said 20, even maybe 30. You're not going anywhere. And I told him, I showed him, like, I literally had to show him my mobile money balance. on the phone. Of course, I transferred my money to my bank, and then what was remaining was 14K, and I kept showing him that this is what I have. I don't have my ATM in here, it's in the car. I don't carry it because it has been stolen before when I was outside. So he said, how can I trust it? I told him, you have all of my social media, you know my name, you have my numbers.
What else is there?
What else is there? I told him, you need to trust me. Because this is someone who tricked me into coming. He drank the things with me. We ate the same everything. And then now he's selling. And from the beginning, I told him, I'm a Luo woman. Our men provide, period. I grew up watching that. As a man, you need to provide. That for me, and also as a Christian woman, that's God's foundation. A man has to provide. If you want a submissive man, if you want a submissive, soft, feminine woman, you have to provide so she can rest in her femininity. I don't have that option. So when you're taking me on a date, you need to step up. And I can't do that. I leave.
On top of that, if you initiate a date, it's on you.
It's on you, period.
It's on you.
That's what I always say every time. When I'm dating someone, if you're hitting on me, that's different. You have to pay.
Yeah.
But if I'm dating you and we've been going on dates for 1,000, then one day I'm like, babe, let me take you out. I will definitely pay the bill.
Yeah.
I'll always pay the bill if I've initiated. Even with my friends, like if I know my friend is broke, I'm like, oh, Amy, you've told me you're going for it after time. Let's go out. I'm not gonna, you already told me you're broke. How am I going out and telling you, babe, you have to add 50K in the bill? No. It's just common human decency.
Girl, you have seen a lot.
Crazy.
In the dating scene.
Oh God, I feel like
strong.
I am strong. My therapist told me I have 50-year-old women problems. 50-year-old women. I've seen it all.
But I hope someone really out there is learning out of these experiences that you have had, because I'm sure people have had many other experiences as well. When I tried dating apps years back, it's always people who were asking for nudes. You get like, I feel men are so selfish on these online dating apps that it's always something. In as much as you put your profile right and your intentions right, they'll still come into your inbox and someone wants to see your nudes. Yeah, they're just, I think online right now has lost a bit of meaning.
It has.
That is what I will have to say. It has lost meaning. So many perverts.
So many. It's just gross.
So it's one in a few who actually get lucky with this online thing.
It's one in a few.
You get. I didn't get chance of getting lucky online, as you know. I got a husband from Facebook, and that was even by chance.
Online. It's not on dating apps.
It's not on dating apps. It's online, and I'll say it was just divine making. I wouldn't say I really put in so much effort to, pushing it and having me, get this.
But let me tell you something. Most of the decent guys that I've met, like I met a really decent guy this year. He's from the USA. And let me tell you, you don't find them on those dating apps. You don't find them on those dating apps. Facebook is better, YouTube, TikTok. But dating apps, you're just going to find all these people that are literally, you're talking to someone, the next thing they're sending you their ugly private part. Why are you sharing your private parts with people? That's why it's considered private. It's not nice, it's wrinkly. You know what I always tell them? I tell them, why are you sharing child pornography? And they block me immediately because I've had their ego. I'm like, I'm going to report you to the police. You're sharing child pornography. This is not accepted. That's what I always tell all the men who send me their junk. Yeah. And if you ask for my nudes, I'm sorry, but I'm going to ask you to ask your mom or your female relatives. First, ask your mom and your female relatives. If that's something you can comfortably ask them, then you can ask me. Because how do you disrespect women yet you came from a woman? That's insane.
True.
Yeah.
You're very right about that. Well, I appreciate this honesty when it comes to the experiences. And definitely someone out there has learned. Now, do you think, I want to ask another question. Do you think that online dating has changed your way you approach relationships right now? Yes, I know that you've paused a bit on relationships, but do you think it has made a difference?
Absolutely. So you see, the thing with dating apps, it teaches you to not settle for the first guy, because there are so many matches, you know. Once you settle for one guy, next thing he ghosts you. And in real life, you don't have that, because you met this person, you're talking every day, you block out the other people. So dating apps has taught me how to date more realistic. You know, like my mother figures always tell me, as long as you're not married, you're single. And as long as a man is not committed to you, and it might not be an engagement one, but he's showing you the serious steps, you're single, because anytime he can move, go away, anytime he can be talking. So I haven't paused a bit on dating. I've paused completely. I'm not dating. I'm not going on dates. I'm not trying to get to know people. I am not online. You will not find me on any dating app. If you find me there, that's not me.
But I'm looking for you as spouse, because I'm taking that as a person.
Yes, if you're looking for me as spouse, it's okay. Looking for me as spouse, and my therapists are trying to get me people, maybe my pastors, my mother figures, that's okay. But me as hope, I'm not putting myself out there and saying, oh my gosh, I'm looking for a man. No, I'm not looking for anybody, but I'm open to that. I feel like women and men need each other. Everybody needs a man, and everybody needs a woman. But for me, I feel like you want more than need. You want, you need God and oxygen. But people, you want them. You want them in your life. So I'm not saying I don't want anyone, but I'm not actively looking. But I'm praying to God to bring the person, and a serious person, because I've been on dating apps, so you can imagine the amount of people in my inbox. I'm active on social media, so you can imagine. And it's so sad that out of all those thousands of people, it's still like maybe you find one or two serious ones who are consistent. But again, you can't really call them consistent unless they come and they show you that they are here for you. Because guys talk, and one of the smartest things I learned from dating apps is don't listen to a guy's words. You know, look at his actions, because everybody's going to say the same things. Actually, the last time I went on a date, I was rolling my eyes. Like, I always roll my eyes when guys are talking, and I can't tell that they're seeing because I wear my glasses and I do this. This guy's like, oh, you've rolled your eyes like 20 times in this short conversation. I told him, how can you say it? I'm like, yeah, I feel like you guys are all the same. You can almost predict what a man is going to say. It's so damn predictable. And you can tell from a conversation. A man says, hi, sexy. I know the next thing he's going to say, oh, I like sexy black women. I'm like, okay, why are you telling me this? There are so many on social media. Why do you zero in on me? So I know where a conversation is going just by how we start. And for me, once a man sends me his junk, just block him. He's not a decent person. Whether he apologizes or not, any man who has ever sent me his junk, the conversation ends immediately. I don't care how many times you apologize. I know what kind of man you are. You're a pervert, and there's no too street about it. So anytime a man sends his junk, asks you for nudes, you have to let him go. He's a pervert, period. He's not going to change. People show you who they are all the time.
And by the time someone picks up their phone, looks at you, and then thinks at the back of the mind that
this is not someone who respects you.
The person definitely doesn't respect. He's a pervert. So keep that in mind. And you find that women are so desperate. When a white man reaches their inbox, it's like,
okay. Are you serious? Even when he's sending nudes, they're open to that.
There are people who actually just, I don't know how to put it, but just having a white man come in their inbox, it's like some form of privilege.
Really? They are like thousands.
I've had so my inbox. Imi this and this and this. Imi, I went and met this man for the first time. I slept with the person.
What?
Like, my phone has seen days.
That is just.
And you have to actually sit them down, make them realize what they have actually done is not right.
It's not. You're literally
because they're coming back with all of these other things. Oh, he's like this, and you see so many red flags. So many red flags on it, and you're like, why did you sleep with this person in the first place?
And speaking of that, you know, they always say black women they always lower their dating standards for white men. And for me, that's very weird, because it's the opposite. If I'm on a date outside of my race, I expect better treatment. I'm leaving this dating pool because of the treatment that I've gotten. I'm so traumatized traumatized by Ugandan guys. Trauma, like if a man says he's Ugandan, I'm automatically have my relationship flashbacks are like PTSD from a war veteran. It's like shootings going on. I know, I'm sorry, anybody who's in the service, but like, it's for me, of course, the experience is not exactly the same, but mental trauma is a thing. I literally get goosebumps in a bad way when I'm talking to someone and they find out they're Ugandan. I just feel red flags, you know. I feel an alarm going off in my head. Oh my gosh, the same thing is going to happen, because there's never been a difference ever. And I'm not saying all the guys are the same. Listen, I did not say Ugandan guys are the same or African guys, but in my experience. And so I said, if I've tried this and it's not working out, let me try something else and see if it works out. So for me to go outside of my race, which is not a choice really, I've been forced to do that. I'm traumatized. This is also one of the reasons why I used to have so many guy friends. I don't have guy friends because of trauma. I used to visit guys' houses. I don't, because of trauma. So these are things that I've done because I've learned my lesson. I have so much trauma and I try to avoid them. So I'd never ever in any way, I don't date Ugandan men. Immediately say Ugandan, blocked. I don't do it. So for me to get out of that comfort zone and go and date outside of my race, maybe I expect something better.
Yes,
because I've been receiving nothing. Why would I go to worse?
It looks like the two of us have been traumatized by you guys.
That trauma. I'm even surprised I can laugh at it these days, because it used to be bad.
Right now, I can laugh at it because I think I'm now past that bit, but I don't think I can look back again.
No.
Like, I can't even ever imagine it, because you know my story. I've had my own share to a point that I lost a house.
I know that like too well.
The loss.
Yeah.
You just don't get over that. So these are two people who have had similar experiences. I don't know what someone out there is now thinking about us, but this is where truth is spoken. Yeah. And it's okay for someone out there to speak their truth as well. It's very fine for us to air out what we feel at this point. So if you're saying no to Ugandan men, it's not African men, but Ugandan men.
Yeah.
You get? So it is a no.
It's a no. Period.
It is a no. It is a no completely.
Actually, for me, it would be even better if someone is like, just from out there, like their values are different. An African man will tell you straight up. And I've talked to a lot of African men. They'll tell you straight up, you know, you have to accept that a guy is going to cheat on you. You have to accept that you're lower than a man. A lot of them will tell you that. And for me, I can't relate to a man telling me they're lower than me, because like, you've known my dating history. I've never dated a guy who was doing better than me at the time we were dating. I'm not talking about long distance relationships. Oh, guys, you're talking to, I'm talking to actual relationships.
Yes.
They were not doing better than me. They were not helping me in any way. You know, I was still in my masculine energy, struggling and hustling to build where I've been. So for a man to tell me that I'm lower than a man because of my body, no, honey, that's not how it works. There is no way that I'm going to be lower than you. So that's also one of the reasons why I completely prefer to date people from a different culture, the Western culture. It's different. There, a man being unfaithful is frowned upon. They'll be like, that guy was unfaithful. I left here. You'll say, my gosh, I'm leaving my husband because he's unfaithful. They're like, my dear, it rains everywhere. Everywhere is stormy. How you're going to jump into this saucepan, into the fire? So why would I want to keep jumping into saucepans, to fires, to furnaces? No, let me just go and try elsewhere. And if it's this, if I get disappointed, another thing is also there. There's the world is so
and
big.
The African culture
to
has
get
gotten
stuck.
so comfortable with the thing of men cheating left and right.
It's actually very toxic. It's a very toxic. Me, I've talked to older women, and they are so sad. They've stayed in their marriages for so long, and they are so sad. So for me, every time I talk to someone and they tell me, even a man, like let's say from everywhere, and he feels like infidelity is okay, I ask him, so what if I did the same thing to you? No, but a man provides us. In my situation, I've never had that thing where a man is providing for me. So what if I was the one doing that? Does that make it okay because I'm the one who's providing? No, a woman shouldn't cheat because it hurts for a man. I'm like, do you know what women go through? Actually, recently, one of my mother figures was telling me, because I was like, you see, women, we are forced to forgive cheating, but men never forget cheating. How are women trained to forgive cheating? She told me women don't forgive cheating. Look at cultures where they say instead, look at what those women are doing. They have their side people. They're also doing their thing as long as there's money. My dear, let's spread STDs, basically. And for me, this is not something that I want. It's not, if I wanted to be cheated on and treated like trash, I would have stayed with any of my exes, really.
True.
But I did not, because I realized, Amy, I'm doing so much for myself. What do these guys give me?
And I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
This far you have come,
this
because
past 2 years.
we got to know each other from Facebook. It's been like 5 years plus.
Plus 2018. It's like 6 years.
Oh my God, you even remember.
Yeah. It's like 6 years.
And I've seen you grow. I've seen you evolve. I've seen the things that you've done, the business that you have worked so hard. I mean, Lord, you just need to be above.
God just needs to help me. And this is why I also don't date. I'm like, my choices are terrible. Like my counselor was telling me, like for her, she met her husband and they didn't even date. The guy met her and said, can we date? She said, I'm not dating unless you want to get married. Let's start to plan for a wedding. That in 6 months, they were married and they didn't even date. They were just friends talking about building a life together. She stopped dating completely. So she told me, hope you're on the right path. You don't have to date to get your husband. There's someone out there. I mean, you're all over social media. You're all over this. Someone will see you and come to you. You don't need to date. There's a waste of time. Amy, if you know how many people have I dated, and I don't mean relationships. I mean going on dates, talking. So many. I'm so tired. And men have the same script. I've never met a unique man with a unique script. It's the same thing. Hope I want you. I'm like, okay, but these are the 100 men. Should I be with all of them since you want me? No, but me, I'm special. Why? Because you said I want you. The same exact thing that every man is saying, and you're probably telling other women.
And your counselor was actually right, because the same thing did happen to me. We didn't have time.
You didn't date.
Yes, we didn't date. Like we just started living as husband and wife after the traditional marriage and getting to know each other in marriage. You get. I always say, love will grow.
True.
In that marriage.
Period.
And now I begin to agree with this traditional thing whereby
arranged marriages.
Absolutely.
Me, I've always agreed with it. What I don't agree with is forced and underage marriage, but arranged, perfect.
I agree with it because it has worked perfect. It may not be arranged, but we got to learn each other in marriage. We got to love each other in marriage.
And that's the concept of arranged marriage.
Our differences in marriage and say that this is going to work, and we are going to win in this. And it works. People are like, oh, date for a while. Amy, there are people who have dated for 10 years. They marry for 2 years, divorce. There are people who have dated for 2 weeks and they've been together for 60 years. So for me, as crazy as it's, for you can understand when I say I'm not dating. It's people who don't get it. But like, you don't need to date to find your partner. True.
With all the my gosh, I can't even remember how many people I've dated. It's that bad. And I'm not talking about relationship. I mean dating, getting to know each other, talking. There are so many. I'm not interested in dating anyone. And this is what I tell guys. When guys get my number, I tell them I'm not looking for a pen pal. Remember pen pal? I'm not looking for a pen pal. I'm not looking for an online text buddy. I don't do friends with benefits. I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I'm not looking for male friends. I have so many male friends, and most of them want to sleep with me. So why am I adding more predators onto my list?
True.
Yes, so I have to protect myself. I can't have predators all over me. As a woman, I have to protect myself.
True.
So I always say I don't need any more male friends at all. The only male people that I can want are investors. You want to invest in my stuff? That is okay. But you just want to be my male friend in my inbox. My dear, you're 200. When will I reply to you? When? What you're saying the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, darling. This has been an amazing one. And I know for sure it's going to help someone out there. I really love your honesty. That's just what I needed. Because so much truth is not being spoken to people out there.
Yes.
So much truth is not being spoken. Now, this takes us to our next question. We're almost coming to the end of our session as well. Now, do you think that online dating has also expanded your social circle and opportunities? I just want to know a bit of that.
Yeah, my online dating has really helped expand a lot of opportunities. Now, we have a beach resort lodge in Murchison Falls called Nile Treats.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so we have a lot of tourists that have come through there also. They come, they go, they stay there, they watch the wild animals. I mean, Murchison Falls, absolutely beautiful.
Could you say the resort place again?
It's called Nile Treats. Treats with a Z, TREATZ. Nile Treats Beach Resort.
Okay.
So it's in Pakwach, next to Murchison Falls, so you can watch the animals. It's right on the River Nile. It's just an amazing, amazing place to be. So we've gotten a lot of customers from that, because there's a point when I was looking for someone, then I realized all these guys want to send you their junk and ask for your private parts. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just turn this into getting tourists, because there are so many people here who are tourists. So I got a lot of that. Then also growing my YouTube and my TikTok, a lot of the people that follow me are foreigners. When I look at my analytics, it's mostly like USA, UK. So I said, okay, if I'm not gonna get someone, at least let me grow my following. Yeah, let me grow my following, because it's so hard to find someone who's serious. You can meet someone. I've had people I've talked to, and then they just literally ghost you, no explanation. But a lot of them come back, and for me, when you come back, I don't give you a second chance. I give very, very few people second chances when it's not been an extreme case. Yes. But also one thing I've learned is not to take a lot of guys serious. It has helped me change my life. Yeah. I don't take a guy's word for it. I need to see action. Yeah. So you can talk all you want. If you've never done anything for me and never showed any true actions that you actually want to be with me, I'm not going to put in effort, because there are other guys who are actually showing you that I want you to be happy. I want you to rest in your family. Whatever you want, I'm going to take care of you. Then there's you with words and 200 others, as if tagging. How do you expect me to be interested? How do you expect to stand apart?
It's one thing to love, but remember, when also it comes to online dating, you need to have the finances. Love may not be enough. Actually,
as you yourself also have
no. The man, I think the man may carry the bigger part. Yes. But equally, the both of you need to be somehow okay. Yeah. When it comes to, one has to sacrifice.
Yes. By the way, when you're both broke, it's different.
When you're both broke, it's a whole different thing. Nothing shifts.
Nothing shifts. Nothing shifts. Because now you don't have data to call the guy. He doesn't have money to give you. When will you ever speak?
And for starters, to guys out there, I'll just appeal to guys. Probably a guy is watching this, and you're starting up, let's say, an online, a long distance kind of relationship thing. Please, most of these women, I will be honest, may not have it all. You want to talk to this person, you're really into this person. Can you just at least send money for data?
Seriously. And data here is so cheap.
And data here is at least money for data. I'm becoming an advocate for the women right now.
50,000, 20 GB for the whole month. Really, that's enough. It's not like you're sending $100.
To keep them online, start with the airtime.
Yeah.
Start with the data. I mean, you want to talk to someone constantly.
True.
This is someone who probably doesn't have enough to actually keep meeting up with your need of staying online.
Yes.
So send that airtime. It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
So now, Hope, what's the best advice you can give to someone out there who is, just joining these dating sites? The person, be it a new person or someone who is going back to the dating, to the online dating sites. What advice will you give to this person?
First of all, don't go on dating sites when you're desperate. Heal yourself, heal your wounds, so that you don't bleed on people that did not cut you open. So don't be desperate, because when you're desperate, you're going to get scammed. Have you seen these scams whereby they tell the girls they're sending them gifts, and then you have to pay money, and then they take your money just like that? And that almost happened to me, but like I'd seen those stories on Mama Tendo, the group, and I was just telling the guy, like, bruh, I've gotten money from abroad so many times. I've never had to send money to get money. So what the hell are you talking about? And the other thing that I want to tell you girls also, at still a point of don't be desperate. don't send these guys your nudes. Don't don't be so impressed by them sending nudes to you. They send it to anyone. And also, men, why do you send nudes? Because I've never met a woman who says, oh my gosh, I want a man to send me nudes. Most women are disgusted by it. Do you do it for your ego? Because I don't know any woman who's interested in a random person sending when they are drunk, you know? Yeah. So that's the main advice. Don't be desperate. You're going to get used. You're going to get disappointed. You're going to get stripped and dumped. Do not be desperate when you go in this site. Take your time, get to know men. Look at the red flags. When a man invites you to his house, when a Muzungu man has been here for too long, he's a Ugandan. Trust me, he's a typical Ugandan. Third of all, that bit is so important.
That bit is very important. Any white guy who has been in this country
for long is a Ugandan.
They have, please, get someone who hasn't yet reached Africa.
Yes. Yes. And if they have, they've not been here for a long time. Yeah. So for me, that's the advice that I'm giving you. And also, try not to give so much of your information to someone that you don't know, because these men will use it against you. I don't know if I told you about an ex of mine talking about crazy. Okay, that one, he didn't come to Uganda, but like this man, we dated for a bit, but I rejected him. He was love bombing me. Every time I couldn't pick up my phone, he would be sending my relatives funny messages. I'm with guys, blah, 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 because he added them on Facebook, you know? So this one time, someone told him that I was cheating on him, blah, 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 blah. So this guy went and he literally started dating someone. He first sent weird messages to me, calling me a slut, blah, blah, blah. He started dating someone, a Kenyan. And when he was going to Kenya, and guess what? This chick, when he reached there, she was engaged to a German guy and they were getting married, and he had gone all the way. So he comes back and he's like, I'm so sorry. I realized you're not, you're actually the person for me, blah, blah, blah. I rejected the guy. Do you know what he did? He started putting my face on porn stars' pictures and saying that those were my nudes.
Wow.
Bruh. Like, it was so insane. I blocked this guy everywhere. He was spamming my pages. And these are the same people who tell you, I'm a good guy. Someone is a good guy, but is doing all these things, you know? So listen to a man, when he's telling you how he's a good man, don't listen to what he's telling you.
The actions.
It's the actions. Every guy is going to tell you you're a good guy. Every guy is going to tell you to choose better. But why is every woman not choosing better if there's really better? So learn how to look at actions, not words. Because let me tell you, the amount of guys' words I've had. So many guys tell me, oh, I'm going to take you to Dubai. I'm going to take you here. When did I ever go? The only time I'm going to Dubai was when my mom took me there. When did the man take me to Dubai? Nowhere. No man has taken me any goddamn anywhere. So don't listen to the words of a man. Let his actions speak.
True.
Let his actions speak.
Wow.
That's what I always say.
Wow. Thank you so much, Hope. Now, to sum it up, I'll also add something. We desire things. Okay? I'm a Christian. I'll always approach things the Christian way and all of that. I believe so much in the power of prayer and stuff like that. There's somewhere in the Bible, I'm not like a verse quoter for people. I'm a Christian, but I know my Bible. Yeah, but God told the children of Israel to go and take over the land. Okay, told the children of Israel to go and take over the land, go and possess that land which I am giving to you. Now, bringing this in context, you need to be first of all a praying person and a spiritually sound person if you want to also approach certain things in life. Now, go and possess that land. We are here, we are discussing all of these things, and every single prayer that I always have before, I push myself out there and I'm like, God, I'm going out there. You've told me to go and possess that land. Let that land favor me. You get, let that online land favor you, because that is a land on its own. You get, it has its own things. It has its own demons. It has its own, but ask God to favor you in that land that you're going. Pray about these things. You get, pray about them. And go there with faith, believing that the right person is going to come to you. There is getting a man who is not the right person for you, actually.
Yes.
Are you looking for a God-fearing man, or you just want a white by your side?
And that is the thing.
You get it?
That's the thing. You know, speaking about that, sorry to interrupt you if you're done.
No, it's okay.
So there's a friend of mine actually who has been my friend like for a long time. She was telling me, I hope, but how does it feel like? Usually you're either like talking to someone or you're dating someone. This time you've been single for so long. I told her, I don't want to just date anyone anymore. People always ask me, I'm not being all conceited or anything, but I take good care of myself. And people tell me, you look good, you work hard, you know, you're put together. How are you single? And I tell them, because I'm tired of settling. I've never had anybody worth my vision. I have and you know, my therapist told me, if you want to get a perfect person, have a vision board, write down the qualities. And when I wrote those qualities, or looked at the qualities I had when I was 20, when I first started seriously dating, I realized that I've never dated anybody with even quarter of what I want. So you're just there. And that's why I'm saying online dating helps me so much. Instead of just settling for anybody who gives you the first attention, you first listen to what everybody's saying. Then you watch their action. Because all these men know. That's why they lie. Because they know women will love what we hear.
Yes.
But some of us who have been on these streets for so long, over Tinder, what, they've told us this the same thing. True. It's the same thing you hear. So we are so blessed that we don't even care. Some guy one time was saying like, oh my gosh, like, don't you like it when I watch your videos? I'm like, not really, I don't care. There are thousands of guys. Apparently, I have 27 male cousins. Do you want them to watch your video with me? I said, this is a pervert. Like, the first thing you think about is other men watching me. And you see, pornography has really spoiled dating and marriage. It has spoiled it. This is why men are sending women pictures. They think this is a porno. This is real life. No woman is going to be happy or take you seriously when you're sending them your private parts. You're not respecting your body. Your body is supposed to be the temple of God. You're there showing it out to everyone.
And African women, we are set in a very different way. Remember, we have the culture in us as well. We are raised different. Like, we are Luos. We are from the northern parts of Uganda. The Bantu have their different culture. Like, then we are raised differently. Like, every family has certain values. You get. So if we come here and say we want men who actually provide,
that's what we were used to
from childhood. This is what we know. Our fathers providing. So this whole westernization thing.
That's why when someone says, oh, you're feminist, they say, listen, I believe in women having better opportunities, not better than men or whatever, better opportunities, but as a woman. By the way, you've probably not like one time when God does his thing and I have a family and what, I want to invite you to my home and you see how I do my thing. The way I was raised, my mom is a career woman, but she still makes sure everything is okay. Make sure that my dad has his food served. Have you served your dad? Stuff like that. And that's how I am also. Yes, I'm a career woman. I have my business going on. I'm trying to build it. But I nurture my man. I love cooking. I love cooking so much. Like, usually when I'm with someone, I'm always cooking for them. They can all testify to that, except a few that I felt were not worth it. But the ones that I've really liked, I've cooked for them, do all this extra mile for them. Today I'm going to try Chinese. I'm going to try this. So that's the kind of woman I am. I like to nurture. I'll be your peace. So as a man, that's all I expect. That's the most important thing. Respect me and provide period. Because you can't expect a submissive wife when you're not even providing. An African submissive wife, my dear, I'm out there looking for money. We both have to build us. When will I have time to be feminine? I can't. We are both men in that. You're both struggling with that masculinity, and that's why there's a high rate of divorce in the West. There's too much masculinity in the house.
True. And I realized when a man really steps in, because we both are, career ladies, you get. When a man steps in, there's a way you rest in your feminine. Like, you rest in your femininity. You get it?
Yes.
Because it's gotten to a point whereby I've seen him lead all through. Like, amidst me having the business and all of that, I've seen him lead. Like, I sit, wait and listen.
Yes.
Is it a yes? Then we take the next step. But he has allowed me rest
in your feminine, and I can see it. I can see how you've transformed.
At first, it was so difficult.
Yes,
because
you are in your masculine. You are so used to the survival mode.
it took me time, and that was also a point where actually we had a really huge misunderstanding about that until I sat myself down and I was like, step down.
Yeah.
He is willing, step down.
Yes.
You get, just step down a bit and allow this guy do his things.
Yes.
And I love the fact that he was a family man. Made like things
Easy.
a lot more easy. He loves the mother. He loves the kids. I was like,
He's an amazing man. Yeah.
This is it. This is all I needed. You'll get to know how when a man treats, there's a way a man treats their mother. That's when you get to know the kind of man they really are.
Yes.
With the way they treat their mother. Outside of that, you can't tell me nothing.
That's very, very true. Actually, adding on that, a lot of men keep saying women are not submissive, but you don't lead. There is nothing sexier than a man who leads. Yeah, a man who leads is everything. All these other qualities go out of the window. Oh, I want him to be so tall, I want him to have blue eyes. As long as he's leading, you're going to naturally submit. And let me tell you, women, there's nothing degrading about submitting to your man. A good man is worth all the submission in the world.
Yes, true.
Once you have a man who, he might not even provide 100%, but he respects you, he leads, he makes everything so much easier for you, he lightens your load, you're going to automatically, there is no woman who wants to be masculine. We are all in masculinity. We're in survival mode. You see, a man has to take you out of survival mode for you to be feminine. You people look at all these women and like, oh my gosh, this person is so feminine. She has this essence of femininity. Her energy is just goddess. It's giving, supreme aura. But you're not the kind of man. You can't even send her airtime. There are men you talk to for months. They've even never done for you anything, and they still feel like they're making a connection with you. And in your head, you're like, is this person okay in the head? There are people who are sending me flowers. There are people who are, making my life easier. But you, with your words, you feel like there's something. And this goes to the men. Like, it's not even about someone being materialistic. Let's be real. When a man looks at a woman, you see her beauty. Very few times you see a woman's beauty and she's seeing you. So the only thing you have to offer is your manly role. Provision, leading, taking action. Yeah.
So guys, you've heard it from the horse's mouth, and it's been quite an amazing conversation.
It really has. Yeah.
And I'm glad you really exhausted every bit of it that needs to be said out there. So thank you so much, every single person. We really appreciate every single support that is coming in, the subscribers. I just want to appreciate. Hope does have a YouTube channel. Yeah, she uses. Maybe you can talk about that.
My name is Hope Kayeny. So Kayeny is Kayeny. So I use my actual names on all of my social media. So I mostly post my videos on YouTube and TikTok. Yeah, you can find me as Hope Kayeny on TikTok and YouTube, but I'm also on all the rest: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. Then my business page is Frotex Chat. Frotex Chat is FROTEXTURED. So we give business tips, hair tips, skin tips, and stuff like that. And we also have a salon at Reed Complex in Tinda, Chiwatule Road.
So great. You've heard from Hope. If you are the natural hair girly, generally you want nice, healthy hair. She's the plug. Okay, she makes organic hair and skin products. Whereas personally, I'm a makeup artist, an events planner, and then of course I also sell skincare products. So you see, there is just a lot in common between the two of us. So thank you guys, and have yourself a beautiful stay.